years, so you do get to know them. And once they realize I'm not trying to out tech them, I couldn't give a shit less. I don't care about this stuff. It pays my bills. I want to go downstairs and work on music. I'm not trying to be the most badass IT person. I'm good at it. It pays the bills, and that's really all I care about in that context.
Yeah, but I know what you mean by the guys who want to out tech you.
Yeah, and I run into the ones who want to out tech me, and I'm like, okay, good for you. I don't care.
Yeah, but for me, it's more like, why? They assume I don't know shit, right? Because I look young, and I'm a girl, so I can't know shit. So I have to prove something to them who wants to out tech or whatever. It's really annoying. It's a thing. You wouldn't think it was a thing, but it's a thing.
I can see it being a thing. In my experience, though, I mean, around here, at least in the companies I interact with, the female IT people are very rare, but they're every bit as competent as any of the others. I mean, they're just, maybe the rarity aspect of it, people don't deal with them as often, and they bring some presuppositions to the table. Okay, but those should kind of go out the window after, you know, this person you deal with, that person you deal with, that person. Oh, look, there's no difference.
Yeah, it usually does after a trial of some sorts. Or they listen to some other guy who said something.
Around here, really, the stigma associated with people being incompetent is how country they are. Now that I'm pondering it, because I'm in Kentucky and I've lived in Kentucky and Tennessee and whatnot, and the thicker their southern accent, the worse off you are when it comes to those stigmas.
Yeah, by that definition, I'm very country.
Really?
Yeah. It's a very similar stereotype. We drink and curse and don't really do much productive. We're fishermen. We're either fishermen or farmers.
Yeah, farmers is the big one around here.
Yeah, the big one is fishermen. Here.
I get all those, but people usually don't guess. That people always don't guess that I am a farmer. But I've had people talk about it in here. I don't often have a big accent. I think that people
Where are you from?
It's all over the place. I'm from eastern New Mexico.
Oh, okay. I'm from Tennessee.
Yeah. I've been accused of being from the South.
Oh, that was another.
I have a fast draw when I want to, but I don't know. Depends on the context.
That was another thing I had when I worked at the call center, because it was for hospitals in like the area of the country I live in now. And every now and then I talk to people who are from similar places like me. And they always, or not all of them, but a lot of them asked me, where are you from? Because I had a pretty not ruined dialect. And they were like, oh, you're from there, I'm from blah, blah, blah. And they asked me, how long have you lived here? And I tell them, and they're like, oh, you've kept your dialect. I've lived there 5 years less than you, and I've changed. How did you do that? But it's probably because they are doctors and in like that kind of professional positions, and they change to make their jobs easier for the same stigma or something.
I don't know. I some people do, some people don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't like stick to a dialect. That's my problem. Is I'm always like there's people from here who thought I was from the South because I'll be talking really. Apparently, I was talking very Southern that day.
Are you like a language sponge?
Yeah, kind of.
I see the same thing with my boyfriend. When we go up to where I'm from, where my parents live, and we are there for like a week or two, he starts picking up words and terms.
Yeah, if I go anywhere, or if I'm listening to, if I'm talking to people with a particular accent or dialect, I start talking.
Yeah.
And
Maybe that's an
and
ENTP
it
thing. I don't know.
sticks for a couple of days. And yeah, it drives my mom nuts. I think so. Me and my dad do it really bad. And my brother does it a little bit too, but maybe not as bad. But yeah, like my sister, she doesn't really do it. Like that's what everybody noticed when I brought her on here for a couple of days. So they're like, "How are you from the same? To grow up in the same, place?" They're like, "She has a really thick accent."
But one of the reasons why I'm keeping it is because a lot of people find it to be charming.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes. Like I'll go the opposite way too. Like in certain situations, I won't realize it, but I'll start getting a lot more hope, a lot more of kind of my natural drawling Southwestern accent. And usually, if I don't like them, like going the opposite is very.
At one point, I was a salesperson, and then it was literally worth money because
Yeah.
they saw me like this naive girl from not a very central place. How could she be a liar? If she said so, it had to be true. Something like that.
I feel like I put on a little bit more of a drawl when I'm being particularly just kind of general approach charming. Like I don't necessarily, at a particular person. I'm just like walking into a new situation and like trying to be all whatever. Turn on charm mode. Yeah, I tend to get a little bit more.
Every so often, I'll say a particular word, and it will come out pretty Southern. Doesn't really bother me, but I think it's kind of funny.
I think what I do is I say words that it's not necessarily how I say it; it's just the actual word. They'll be like, "What did you say?" Like I'll say, I don't know. I'll say "golly" or something, and they'll be like, "What'd you say?" Like, "What word did you use?" Like, do people really say that? I'm like, yeah, it's a word. Say that.
I get that too. Like there is a word they don't use around here, and I catch myself saying it, and it's like, I have probably not said that word for 5 years.
Yeah, or I'll start picking up. One of the bad things I do is I pick up, like, say, I'll get on a kind of a sayings binge. I'll get on like a dialect binge, and like I'll be watching a bunch of British TV, and so I'll just run everywhere doing all these like British words that are not used here, right? And everybody's like, you just this little like nobody says anything, but they're just like, why are you running around talking kind of like a British person? And some of them stick long term, and some of them don't. But I go through these like if I've been on a particular thing, or even if I've just read a book or watched a movie, like I'll always pick up a few from whatever I've been watching or listening to or reading. And some of them stick long term, and some of them don't. But
I'll drop an "ain't" every so often.
I use that one. I like that one, especially because it bugs people. I also mispronounce a few words, though not as badly as my dad. I wonder if that's an ENTP thing. Because he mispronounces words intentionally all the time, and I know that half the time he knows he's doing it. He rolls with it, and then it becomes a thing for like years. No, that's how I say that word. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll only do that a little bit.
I think it's funny when people say nuclear.
Nuclear? What?
Nuclear? Yeah, nuclear. But someone say nuclear. You know?
I can't do that.
Heard that?
I know I've heard it. I can't say it.
Nuclear.
Yeah, it's like the C and the L are like switched around.
Yeah, some people say that.
And then I forget which way is the right way. That's the problem, is that I honestly forget which way is the right way to say a word if I say it wrong. It's like, what's one? Caribbean, right? That's the right way. But I often say it Caribbean, even though that's the wrong way.
Well, where I live, Louisville, when you move here, you might even be so naive as to call it Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
But the longer you live here and the more you say that word, you get lazier and lazier until it's Louisville. Yeah. And that's not right, but it's the vernacular.
Right.
Where are you from? Louisville?
But yeah, there's a few words I do that on. Pastel. I always like to say pastel. I don't know why. And I do it intentionally sometimes.
Pastel.
Yeah,
But
those pastel colors.
I,
They're kind
I,
of pastel.
I even butchered it more.
Most of those things is I say it wrong. Or what's another one that I get made fun of? Saying horror. I forget. I say horror. And then I'm supposed to say something else. And so I just stuck with it. Like that's what I just like. People start making fun of me, especially my family. It's like no, but my dad does it really bad.
A lot of people
And then,
around here, including my mom, will add an R to like wash or Washington. They'll go Washington. Or I'm going to go wash the car.
Yeah. I feel like that one gets said, but it's always said with the emphasis. Like it's like, notice me saying it. Like it's not an actual natural way. Yeah, people do that. I love knowing how to do like Texas dialect because people come into Texas. And, like I live in New Mexico, so we say Spanish words generally pretty close, right? But you get down in Texas, you get like, oh, what's it good? But they have names down there that are Spanish words, but they say them very differently. And so if somebody comes in trying to pronounce it normally, they will. It's like, no, that's not what's.
New Mexico's gorgeous.
It's pretty interesting. You have a lot of variety.
I drove through there last year to take some equipment to my boss in Arizona, and I'd never been further west than Oklahoma City or Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah.
I remember going over a hill, and it had already gotten kind of barren. But I remember going over a hill, and this vista was just, I'd never seen anything like it. And on the horizon, there were some mountains, and on the horizon, there was a thunderstorm, but the sun was setting behind the thunderstorm, and the sunlight was coming through the rain. It was just ridiculous. I'd never seen anything like that.
Yeah, but you can see a long ways. And it changes quickly. It goes
Yes,
from
it
flat
does.
to mountain.
Yes, it does.
Every now and then I drove down to like Las Vegas or Nevada, and then I always turn around, and when I come back, I feel really good about home. I'm like, oh man, you're like, Nevada looks like awful. And then you're like, oh man, this makes Arizona look good. And then you get back to New Mexico, you're like, all right, this looks really nice. It's playing green.
In fact, this would have probably been about an hour and a half east of Albuquerque.
East. Okay, that would be. What were you on, like I-40 or?
Probably because I'd gotten on one of the interstates in Memphis and just stayed on that interstate pretty much the entire way into Arizona. And the sun was setting at this place, and when I got to Albuquerque, it was already dark, and it was raining and windy as all hell. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the wind.
It gets windy. It probably wasn't that windy, honestly.
Well, I was in a big truck, and it was like a sail, so I was feeling it pushing back and forth, and I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, that's, I remember taking a Skywatch class one time, for like spotting tornadoes and stuff, and they had this little chart to tell you how to figure out how fast the wind was blowing. And it stopped at like 50 miles an hour because it said, land speeds beyond this are not really seen on land. And I just kind of laughed at it. Well, no. But yeah, that looks like I-40. So you probably went through like Santa Rosa right in there?
I don't know. I stopped at a truck stop and picked up a T-shirt that had Geronimo on it and said, "Turn in your weapons. Your government will take care of you." One of my favorite T-shirts.
Yeah, because I just looked up the thing from Memphis and it said to do it via I-40, and so I-40 would have brought you through like Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Amarillo, and then you probably Santa Rosa would have been the next thing, and it's about an hour and a half east of Albuquerque.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah,
Gotta let the dogs in.
I go there quite a bit.
Have to tend to the herd.
Yeah, no, it's pretty up there because it's it kind of go up the mesa. Our family, we've got a ranch just inside of Santa Rosa. I love that quite a bit. Flat top of the mesa country up there.
Well, I'm gonna have to bail.
Okay.
Talk at you people next time.
See ya.
Have a pleasant evening.
So, wanna check out the other room?
Unpublished discoveries.
Monologue. About what?
Who's monologuing?
Apparently I am. Zach is telling me I should monologue.
I like the comic. I just looked at it, Zach. There's all these people sitting on unpublished.
Cheese and or rectangles.
Cheese and or rectangles. There's a lot of potential.
Go with any. Let's pretend it's there. Before, in the olden days, Jesus came in wheels and they were round. Fuck it, don't. I can't do it. But now, in modern day, the cheese came as rectangles or something. That's it. The end. Eat more cheese. No, I can't do it.
That's funny because that's the sort of stuff. This is what we do at the dinner table at my house. We're like, so cheese and rectangles, and then we make up some sort of stupid story about it, but we talk a lot longer. And then we come up with competing theories.
Yeah, but it's more fun
And
when it's
Mom rolls her eyes. And then my sister leaves after a couple, and then the 3 ENTPs are still going like an hour later. They're like, you guys still doing this? And we're somewhere in the middle of a really bad pun story. We're like, yep. They're like, but you did this last night. We're like, yep. It is ridiculously silly and yet amazing. Yes, it is. It was one of those things I didn't realize that not everybody did that for a long time. But most people don't. They have some sort of actual like information transmission conversations, I think, when they eat. Instead of just like playing with words for 3 hours. It's just silence.
My family was discussing bridge. Everyone played but me and my ENTP brother. He was the youngest one, and I was just bored.
Yeah. What is that? We avoid talking about bad things, at least our own things. Like, there's plenty of avoidance of actually talking about things we probably need to be talking about, but at least we do it in a...
Oh, my family is the master of sweeping under the rug.
I think we're also really bad at noticing when things need to be talked about. It's not necessarily intentional. It's like, oh, going wrong. It's usually, ISTJ going, you need to clean this up, or clean that up, or if we would just get to work at 8 o'clock every morning. Yeah. Cheese and rectangles. Cheese can come in a lot of shapes. It's contemplating the shapes of cheese. Which shapes of cheese do you think first? Do you think the wheel of cheese is the most natural and original form of cheese? And therefore probably the next logical form of cheese is the cheese wedge. And conveniently, the cheese wedge is very good for using as a truck to keep the cheese wheel from rolling. Probably, those actually go really well together. Why the rectangle? Because what good is a cheese rectangle when you have a cheese wheel?
The wheels were good for cheeses that needed to age, I guess.
You're being logical. You got to come up with some sort of story reason, not like an actual logical, reasonable reason. It's about the wheels and the wedges to keep the wheels from rolling. And see.
What do you use wheels for? You use them for transportation.
Right.
So,
okay.
So that's why they're around.
Why are we transporting them? Why is it important to transport the cheese wheels?
Because they are large. And then you could have bigger cheeses.
Your cheese wheels equals bigger cheese.
Yeah,
Okay.
A square does not roll, so it makes sense that it's round when it's a bit large, heavy cheese.
What form should stinky cheese be in?
Stinky cheese. It should be a rectangle, so it would stay and be left
So that
behind.
yeah, so it stays. So you always know where it is.
It doesn't go anywhere. You know where the stink is.
I feel like the best cheese should be trapezoidal because trapezoids are just awesome. So the trapezoidal cheese is the cheese wedge that has been quality tested by chopping the end of it off, and so now it's a trapezoid, more or less.
So then we
That's
know
how you
it's
Yeah, because
it's a tested stinky cheese.
it's tested. It's a tested wedge of cheese. Proper wedge of cheese, you never know if it's going to be okay because no one has tested it. No one has tasted it.
What color wrapper is a wedge of blue cheese in? Blue? What? Or green? Bleu. C'est bleu.
Well, if it's proper American blue cheese, it's going to be a red wrapper because then you've got red, white, and blue in the whole thing, and you can be super patriotic about it. I mean, that, or at least, certain times of the year, that's definitely what color wrapper it should be in.
Or Norwegian. Or Icelandic. Or British.
Well, it just depends on the shape and the frequency of the the blue spots. There's special, red, white, and blue American cheese that has little stars. All the blue things are in shapes of stars.
Yeah, or Icelandic.
I'll just say, Puerto Rico, though, they like their cheese in wedges. They like red wedges of cheese. So they just have their blue cheese, but then they have like a wedge of some sort of red covered cheese. stuck into it.
No fucking idea.
I read a thing about making flags one time. It was pretty interesting. In flag design, and I thought it was really good information. But then guy went on to like show the worst flags ever, and I forget because like towns and different. There's a lot of towns that have their own flag, and this one town has like this terrible picture, and it even has like a trademark sign on the picture on their flag. Like it's terrible. It's so bad. It was hilarious. I like that. You get information you know. Especially when the ENTP is the one running the chat box over there. The introverts are more often than not, they like pop up with what you wanted before you even realized you need. A lot of them do. And you're like, that's really amazing. Because they were already like 2 steps ahead.
They weren't busy talking.
Exactly. I guess. So do you like playing the NE game, Susan?
Yeah. This wasn't the best one though.
No, but
I
it
see what
wasn't
you're
bad.
saying.
No, there was some potential there.
Yeah, I might just be too tired for it.
I can do it better when I'm tired.
But you think it's better when you're tired?
Sometimes. I don't TI as much when I'm tired, so I'm kind of just happy to just kind of like goof off and play around and be like, that random thing, I like that random thing. And what is the TI game? What is the TI game?
The TI game is being disturbed by everything and everyone.
You're just like, no, that's wrong.
You're wrong.
It's like, no, you're wrong.
I just copied that one out.
FE game, somebody says something, other person says, you're being rude. FI game, somebody says something, other person says, that's offensive.
That's an FE game. Unless everyone's talking about themselves.
Another politely laughs.
And everything is okay. Everything is perfect. We have no problems. Nobody's angry. Everyone's happy. And we like each other. Externally.
Oh. The SI game is just like one of those you're like, you remember when X? And the other one goes, yeah, I remember when X. And it's just all this like super remembery thing. But they're all very comfy and shared.
You got
And
that one?
Yeah.
Oh, or have good enough SI to turn the webcam off. Play SI games.
Yeah, we don't play that. The NI game is somebody goes, I was thinking, and everybody just be silent and stares off into space.
So I just say random shit without knowing why. TE game is everyone leaves. Does stuff.
Everyone actually starts doing something. The SE game is surprise. They were never here in the first place. Stuff wins. I feel like SE game is like we started playing a game, but then everybody leaves. Halfway through the game. Yeah, well, the ENTPs are still like, ooh, look at the explosions. Like, can we make another thing explode? But yeah, the SE person like leaves in the middle at the before it's over. That's literally what my sister does. Like, she will leave a game in the middle of it. You're like, how do you leave the game at the middle of the game? You're just like, I don't get you, but okay, bye. Even if she's winning, that's the point.
Oh, even if she's winning.
Yeah, even if she's winning, she's just like, yeah, I'm tired now, I'm leaving. You're like, okay, bye. Yeah, the indie game is just, everything is a game, and it is one long game. It is often interspersed with mini games, which are actual games to other people. The indie game never stops. Yeah, but you assume that we're playing the same game by the same rules. That's the thing, is we're all playing a different game by our own rules, and therefore we're each certain we're going to win our own game. We occasionally make the mistake of thinking we're all playing the same game, where more than one of us is. Oh. We had a dog that was an INTP.
Does it cook and clean?
I feel like my brother's Chihuahua could have been an INTP dog. It was named Savick, so it did have a Vulcan. So it had good odds of being a introvert, being a Vulcan and all that. How many times I had to explain to people how to spell that, though? Sometimes it's work being nerdy. I feel like my dog is an FE Dom.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up in the other room?
Everybody keeps yelling about stuff now. I messed up.
You messed up?
Well, I said it, like, I love communism, because we were talking, he was like, I want to get away from politics, and it was like, I love communism as a joke. And then it was like, what do you guys think about communism? And now it's been really long since they've been talking about stuff.
That's fun.
So it's pretty much Josh and Andy going at it.
Yeah, they talk a lot. Abe's getting in there. I mean, it was like good. I like, it was, I wanted to see the opinions were, but I don't know. They're just, it's a lot now.
I don't know, as much as Andy's happily arguing, like I can't tell if it's ENTP or if maybe he's less 9ish than I thought.
I don't know.
Andy,
I have no idea. I'm not gonna guess. I don't know him there that well.
I still think the 3. Like the only thing I saw for sure, I think 3, maybe 5. 6.
Well, from Nick's typing, I found out I must be 3 too. So fuck it.
You could be a 3.
Hmm?
I can see you could be a 3.
Can be a 3 more than. Yeah, I found out a while back that I should get rid of the 4 because it's feely and shit.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you don't strike me. You don't have like the. I don't even know how to put a figure on it. Oh, there's this. Yeah, there's this 4 thing. Yeah, is a bit more. You're kind of straightforward
Yeah.
for 4.
So fuck 4.
I don't know.
5
Like,
or 3, go.
yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, you have weird colored hair. You must be 4." I'm like that actually. Yeah.
Sad bit hole.
I don't know enough about Enneagrams yet.
Now I have to figure out if I'm more 1 than 3. Probably.
I remember I looked up like mine and stuff, and I don't remember exactly what 4 and 1 are. I remember 3 a lot.
4 is, I don't know, being different or whatever. 4 is like the hipster Enneagram.
Word.
That's what I realized at some point, and I couldn't decide because I don't think I'm a 2. I'm not that fucking helpful.
No, you're not.
But 5s are kind of helpful, and that part's fine.
You're like, let me help you because you're pitiful and stupid.
Hmm?
You're like, let me help you because you're stupid.
Something like that.
See, that's it. 5 is like, oh, let me help you. It's like, let me help you because you're late. And I don't know. 2, I guess, is like, let me help you because I like helping you. People, something. I don't know.
It's like 2-ish.
One, 3, 5. The technical expert.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stereotype on 4s is weird. What I've noticed about 4s is they tend to have this. A lot of them have a style. Like, it's not necessarily popularly stylish. It could be or could not be. But they have a brand. Like, 4s have this very, like, personal brand. It's clearly them, and they really didn't pick up distinctly from other people a lot of times. I think that, to me, that's something I think is kind of 4ish. Like, they have a brand, it's a crafted, like, intentional brand, right? And it's more likely to change.
The only
But
brand
it's
I
not-
have is my cat's. Not brand.
I mean, I don't always see it in, but yeah, I mean, just with, yeah, I mean, it's like my sister, like I think she's got a 4, and she's always had this sort of personal style, and it was very cohesive, and it worked, and she wasn't picking it up off other people or anything, but it really worked, you know, and it was like, and it's always been something really noticeable. Yeah. And then I'm looking into like some of Catherine Farr, some of the Enneagram stuff, and like when Catherine Farr was doing the imagery stuff, like some of her images that she put up for 4s reminded me of that same concept. And then thinking about other people I know that might be 4s, Yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I don't know. I can't really associate it with another Enneagram type, but I've now decided that that's an official theory. I'm going with that. Still proven otherwise. It's nice to put words to it.
I don't know much about the 4. Sound introspective.
Now I'm confused again. I have to learn more.
I've never seen Neptune. I've never seen you, but I feel like you have a personal style brand. I don't know. I don't even know.
I think he does.
I'm just like.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 is like they have their hipster style thing going, and 3 is more like I don't know who the fuck I am. Right?
There is like I'm gonna dress up today, like I'm gonna have a thing today because I think it's gonna have a result or whatever. It's, you know, I mean, I feel like 3 is more. It's not a personal brand. They might brand themselves, but it's always going to be for some sort of external thing. And then if they decided that that wasn't working or they're in a different plan, like it's easily shifted. Like I feel like I did that a lot more when I was younger. I feel like the 3 was. I feel like I'm a 3-wing 4 that's kind of gotten a little more in touch with my 4. That 4-wing down there in the bottom of the tri-type somewhere, the lower regions, but it took me a long time.
I can. Audra,
What?
can you hear Neptune?
No? Talk,
No.
Neptune. Oh, okay. Let me refresh, see if that fixes it.
I can hear you.
Okay, Neptune, talk. I can hear you now, yay. Okay. The 4 that I'm thinking of is, or has a 4, is also FI polar. Like I know some.
Neptune, did you say something? Yeah, but I realize now that 3 is actually not that different, but just for different reasons. They don't know who the fuck they are. And that's a different way of being different. So both are different in a way.
Like I feel like my experience with 3ness is, you know, like, oh, if I do this, that'll be good. If I like get to the top of this mountain or win that prize or accomplish that thing, then some sort of unnamed like beneficialness will.
Yeah, just accomplish things.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just
what
like-
I thought. But then I looked more into it.
Yeah, 3 is
But
like.
then there's also, you know, it's, yeah, you don't necessarily examine why you're accomplishing things or if it's the things you want to be accomplishing sometimes. It's like I think a lot, especially younger, is like you're accomplishing things because other people, like people you care about or something, think that that's what you should be accomplishing.
Yeah, they say
But
it's good.
that was the thing that resonated with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had kind of a spot of that when I was basically I was able to. What I did is I maintained doing the stuff that I did for other people, but I also did the stuff for me. So I like did it all, which almost killed me. But it took a severe toll because I didn't do one or the other. I just did all the things. I did what made me happy. I did what other people made them happy, and I was way too busy all the time. I think it's my lowest. It might have been a little more serious later. I'm 8 core. Yeah. And I see that like comparing like me and my sister or something, like I'm like, all right. And I'm still very like my achievements and things. I just try to do more, be way more careful about picking ones that I really like rather than what other people say is good. And I don't kill myself as much to do them. What? Yeah. I feel like when I was younger, probably the 3 was a little more severe and maybe less 7, but then not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They're pretty balanced, those 2. So lately, I would say that I think that 7 I use more for coping, and I've done a lot more coping in the last few years, and so the 7 kind of was really there.
I know when I was like 3 was like what was just like immediately put in, you know. My dad was a hard ass and my uncle's like freaking, you know, succeed and all that.
Yeah. I think my mom's probably a 3. Probably like 3 and a 1, and I don't know the other one. Maybe a 6.
I am not good at this stuff.
And I think a weird thing about the 3 is that the stuff I did for 3 was very much like for my mom, and I was always thinking about it now, like it didn't ever get much response out of my dad, not as much, and so that was kind of weird. So like, all right, do more? Do I have to do more? Like I get the lulls from my mom for this. Like, what do I got? Like, why am I getting it from over here too? So I've got an interesting question. So those of you with 4s, are you like a younger sibling or an older sibling or what? Okay,
That's interesting.
that's something I'm wondering. I'm wondering if 4s are like more likely to be younger siblings.
My brother shows those qualities, and he's my younger brother.
Because it's that, okay, nobody's paying attention to me, and my older siblings already seem smarter. So, because the way what you said there, like I can see that in my sister. Because she's always saying she's dumb, and she's not. Like she's not, but both of her older siblings are, TI in the same slot, and we're a little more obviously nerdy. And
Exactly.
and I think she has that, well, I'm the dumb one, even if she's not. So I'm just going to be silly or crazy or do my own thing. That's what she's like, I'll just do my own thing. Can't beat you guys, so I'll play my own game. That's interesting. We're finding out a lot of interesting things about 4s here.
Right? Is that Susie? Code 513?
think so.
Sounds pretty legit.
Sounds like it could be uses. What do you
But
think?
the thing is, when I take this one, 3 up 1 step.
It's like the starts. They demand the recognition.
Where are you finding this? Where it's like hugely different.
Personality cafe.
Okay. Great.
Where the fuck do I
Oh.
find good information? Yes. Not chart types. I didn't know she had videos on that.
Most of because the different orderings, I don't think of each tri-type so much, but the general tri-type archetype. Yeah. Should we go into depth? Yeah. I'm pretty sure about my order. I've read one. I've only found like one description of 8 cells. It's like, yeah, okay.
I don't find this shit on YouTube.
This is what I'm talking about. See, Zach, this is how useful information pops up in the chat.
Oh, that's unlisted too. Ooh, good playlist. I'm gonna save that.
Okay,
I just realized I'm hungry. I'll be right back. Okay, back.
Yeah. I'll like line up to look at in a minute.
Did somebody post my tri-type video?
It's somewhere today.
Let's see. Yeah, because I know I've found these before, but yeah, they were hidden, I guess. Tree 7, 8.
That's 6 minutes. Yeah. Can't watch it right now.